Alright, we got Rocky here making some bread. It's looking good so far, looking good so far.
Make sure you check out the bread recipe right up here.
Alright. Cheers! Cheers!
Oh, I didn't see. Let's see, eating your hummus. Oh, eating your hummus. Well, whatever Winston, you love hummus and carrots? Yeah, so much. My name is Chris.
And my name is Waylon. We're a married couple who's been together 14 years, and we have 6 kids, ages 1 to 13. Our family lives in the Atlanta area, and we've been vegan for 5 years. So if you want vegan food hauls, recipes, and reviews, along with a realistic and fun view of life as a vegan family, hit that subscribe button.
Because for the past 3 years on YouTube, we've shared the vegan food we've eaten everywhere. At upscale vegan restaurants, during camping trips, when we're at the beach. We've even shared 2 healthy vegan pregnancies. In today's video, we'll be sharing a delicious vegan cinnamon roll recipe. It's sweet, light, very fluffy, and best of all, it's easy to make. So the first 2 elements that make this recipe so special are agave, which is a natural sweetener, which is our family's favorite, and oat milk, which gives a hearty yet light flavor to the recipe. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we share behind the scenes of our recipes. There you can keep up with us between videos. Okay, let's get into the recipe. First, you prepare your yeast mixture: water, yeast, and agave. This is a quick rising yeast. If you don't have it, you can use regular, but it will make your dough take longer to rise. Mix thoroughly. The sweetness from the agave helps to activate the yeast, and because it's a syrup, the extra liquid will create an even more airy, pillowy, soft dough, so I highly recommend you use it as a substitute for regular sugar. Set aside for 10 minutes while you prep your dry ingredients, which are just flour and salt. Mix thoroughly until combined. To your yeast mixture, you add melted butter, garbanzo bean liquid, agave, and warm oat milk. The garbanzo bean liquid acts the way that eggs would act in the recipe in 2 ways: as a binder and to add tons of fluffiness. Pour your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients little by little. It'll form a sticky dough. You don't want your dough to be too sticky, so feel free to add a little bit more flour if you need to. I actually added an extra about half a cup of flour. When you're done, it should look like this. Now what you want to do is go ahead and cover it with plastic wrap, and you want to set it aside for another 10 minutes while you prepare your filling, which is just agave and cinnamon. Now obviously agave is a departure from the usual brown sugar used in most recipes, so use what you have on hand, but I wanted to experiment and see how agave would work, and I actually feel like it's the secret to the recipe and definitely worth a try. Now on a well-floured surface, empty your dough, turn your dough over a few times, and you can knead it for a few minutes, but I've noticed that it's not really necessary to knead it for very long. Just about 1 minute will still give you great results. Next, you roll it out until you get a shape around this size, maybe a little bigger. Of course, if you want cinnamon rolls to have more coils, you can roll it even thinner. I wanted big, obnoxious rolls, so I left my dough on the thicker side. It's up to you. Next, you brush on a little butter. You can use the back of your spoon or a brush. You don't need to use as much butter. I've made it with less butter and it still turns out fine. So use the amount of butter that you prefer, obviously at your own discretion. By the way, we know that most of you are on a health journey, so if you're interested in trying out some nutrient-dense plant-based smoothies and bowls, make sure you check out our last video. It's all about balance. We also have a link in the description box for $10 off your first order, so go ahead and check that out. Next, you add your cinnamon and agave mixture. And the key with this mixture is just to brush it on very lightly because, like I said, the added agave gives extra moisture to the recipe. And again, this helps with the fluffiness, but be conservative because too much will actually create a bit of a mess when you start to roll it. So roll from the long side, tucking under tightly as you roll. And you want to go ahead and use a knife to mark where you want to cut each cinnamon roll. And feel free to use either a knife or dental floss to cut your rolls and place them into a baking pan with parchment paper. As you can see, your dough will start to absorb some of the moisture from the agave, so it might not look very pretty at this stage, but trust me, it will taste fluffy and amazing. You can use a spoon to reshape them a little if you want to, like I did here. And next, you want to leave it to sit another 20 minutes to rise and get even bigger. So if you're keeping track, that's 10 minutes for the yeast mixture, 10 minutes for the dough, and 20 minutes for the rolls to rise. This is what they look like before they head into the oven. 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes or until golden brown. Now while your cinnamon rolls are in the oven, prepare your icing. Vanilla, confectioner's sugar, and vegan butter. Be sure to sift your confectioner's sugar so that it's nice and smooth. Whip it until it forms a thick icing that looks something like this. And after about 30 minutes, this is how your cinnamon rolls turn out. Big, fluffy, and delicious. What did I tell you? Now you want to add generous spoonfuls of icing onto each roll and spread it all over right after they come out of the oven. And this is the final product. And this is how another batch turned out when I rolled them even tighter. I also added raisins and I brushed on less filling. Now for the taste test. What'd you put on yours, Karina?
Strawberry jelly.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's good, Kirby.
Thanks so much for watching this. Be sure to hit that like button if this video was helpful to you and share it with someone that you think would enjoy it. Also, stay tuned for our upcoming baking adventures, such as how we made these delicious homemade brioche buns, which were the perfect complement to our homemade vegan burgers. Yes, I know. Looks amazing. Stay tuned. That video is coming up soon. We hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. We'll see you guys in the next one.